Welcome to ParadoxWalk podcast, specializing in paranormal activity, UFOs, cryptids, glitch in the matrix type activity, anything completely out of the ordinary. It is December of the year 2023. I think I'm somewhere around 34 at this point for episode number. Today's episode, we're going to go over strange activity inside a lucid dream. So there seems to be a confusion about what lucid dream means. The way I understand it, lucid dream does not just mean vivid dream. It doesn't just mean a dream in color or a dream you remember really, really good. Lucid dreaming is when you're inside the dream and then you know that you're dreaming. You understand that it is just a dream. A lot of people have little tests they can do throughout the day. Some people hop up and down a couple times, and if the gravity is a little messed up, then they know they're dreaming. Some people pull parts of their skin and stuff, and some people look at the sky. The sky's always weird in your dreams. You never have a normal sky. The sky is always like crazy. There's all these things, and then eventually you say to yourself like, oh, this is just a dream. And that's another thing. The way I've kind of got the idea for this episode wasn't it wasn't just I'm going to talk about lucid dreaming, because there's a billion videos about that. I was looking for a video that I couldn't find. It used to be on YouTube, or you could find it. YouTube search is just trash now. Like, no matter what you type in, you end up with Katy Perry videos and Taylor Swift. But the video used to be called something along the lines of, like, don't say in a lucid dream that you know this is just a dream, or never say, I know I'm dreaming right now. It was one of those two things, or something very close to that. Somebody compiled a bunch of horror stories of people saying, oh, hey, yeah, I know I'm dreaming right now. And like all the characters like turned on them and attacked them and like went full vampire mode, which is something I'm going to get into with this one. This is do not ask for the date and time in a dream. So there is a bunch of these stories and they're crazy. Like this is one here. I saw people talk about this on TikTok. I tried it too, and I had a similar experience. When I asked the man in front of me what the date was, his smile immediately morphed into a menacing frown. His eyes widened, and he said, you do not want to do that. Something like that happened to me. I turned around and asked the time to my friend, and he turned around with red eyes, like the most creepiest face, and everything paused. It was like getting pressure washed with air. This literally happened to me just now. I was having a bad dream, and I suddenly remembered not to ask someone if you're dreaming or not. Do not ask someone for the time. I didn't want to ask for the time, as I saw so many comments saying that. And when they did, they got an angry, scary face, so I decided to ask if I was dreaming. I was hesitating so much, but I finally asked someone. He was a person who was helping me, and I asked him, but stopped. And then he said exactly, what did you say? 5 seconds later, yes, you are dreaming. You have to drink your saliva to wake up, he said calmly. I did, and it was like that one CapCut edit, the motion translation, where example one picture slowly transforms into the other picture without it having a black screen, like my eyelids were closed. It was like transferring myself into my world. It was like my eyes were open, and when I asked him that, and then I woke up, my eyes were still open. I know I shouldn't make this such a big deal, but it was my first time doing so. I honestly thought he was going to smack me for asking that. Man, there's a bunch of these. I was in a castle, and there was a scary witch at the top of the stairs. I said, what time is it? And she says, you do not ask that here. And in an instant, my left wrist was chained up to the pillar beside me. I was like, hell no. So I woke myself up. It was super terrifying. Not doing it again. Okay, so this one is weird. I've been lucid dreaming for a very long time now. So when I have my dream, I usually am very aware of them. In this dream, I was stupidly aware, and I was very, very interested in what was happening. So to start off the dream, so it's a good dream. It starts off very good. I spawned in a city. The city is packed full of people. There's people everywhere. I see the windows, the buildings, people running around in the streets and cars. It's a packed city. I don't know what city, but it's packed. I look down at my hands and I'm like, okay, I'm dreaming, so I can do whatever I want. And since I'm moving my hands, I can definitely control myself. And I'm walking through the city literally like it's the most vivid dream I ever had in my life. And I'm walking through the city and people aren't paying any attention to me. I'm bumping into people like I can literally feel people bumping into me. And I remember watching a video. I don't know what it was, but I think it was TikTok or YouTube saying that if you are lucid dreaming, try to ask the date and time. And I was like, some people said that they've had horror stories asking that question, and other people said it was the funniest thing they've ever seen. So, I was like, all right, dude, I'll ask. And I'll ask a question, all right? And I turn to the guy next to, and I ask him, hey, yo, what's up? What's the time? And now this guy had a smile on his face. He was a cool guy. He seemed chill. And that's why I asked him. Immediately after asking the question, this guy's face turned to a frown, like it was twisted frown, and he seemed genuinely angry at me. And this question now, it wasn't just him. Everybody in the street stopped and was staring at me, and I'm talking everybody. The streets paused. I looked up into the windows of the buildings. Everybody, dude, they were staring out of the windows in the buildings. They were staring at me, watching me. It was so intense, and I could feel people from planes above my head looking at me. Like I could feel it. I could feel it like, what scary movies when you hear that bass noise and it's kind of like an anxiety noise where everything kind of goes, you know what I'm saying, and like everything goes silent after the loud bass noise. And this is what this guy was doing. Like, so everybody's staring at me and I hear a voice behind me. He goes, hey, and I turn around and he I think the dude has my voice. I'm pretty sure it's my voice. And when I turn around, I look at him in his eyes, and he goes, we don't ask those questions here. And he puts his hand on my chest, and he like pushes a little bit, and then I wake up. I wake up in my bedroom, like I'm back to normal. No, wrong. When I woke up, as soon as I woke up, I knew something was wrong because right off the bat, my bed isn't even in my room right now. My bed is in my living room. I fell asleep in the living room on my bed. So I wake up in the bed, and I knew something was wrong because my bed isn't even in my room. I gather my thoughts for a second, and I'm blinking with my eyes, trying to clear my vision, and the dude that pushed me is standing in my room. So I stand up out of my bed, and I'm like, bro, who are you? And he goes, I put you here, and I can take you out. And then he put his hand up again, but not to my chest this time. He put his hand up, and I woke up. I woke up in my bed, in my living room, back where I was. Like, what do you even make of that? And I woke up with this feeling like I genuinely just happened to me. I guess it did, because everything has this kind of... he goes on to talk about, like, people try to figure it out. That's pretty wild. There was another one, this girl. I'm going to find what she said. Okay, so she starts off saying... So I'm going to go straight into the gym. So she's dreaming this. And there's this woman's house, and I've been there before. And it's an area, my lucid dreams are fictional characters that I dream of. I don't know why it's this woman. And her mom, they're really funny. They're YouTubers, but just ordinary people. And they live in this really, really big house. So I'm glad that I'm there again. So, like, she has these dreams regularly, like a reoccurring dream. And I wanted to ask her the name of the place. So when I'm looking for houses, I can find a place and look for it. And she started acting weird, like, oh, Mom, what's the name of this place? I'm not sure. And then she says, where I'm called is something like Hollyoaks, but without the H, like Ollyoaks. And then later on, it was just me and her and the daughter. And then I really wanted to ask her, like, oh, are you going to have another one? But I thought it was going to be rude. Like, ask the mom if she's going to have another daughter, I think. I don't know. So I saw this other woman, and I've seen this woman in a lot of my dreams. She wears a black skirt, off-white top, it's a bit loose. She's like, and I know this woman, and I dream of her several times. And then I just thought, let me ask you, like, what time is it? What happened after that is I'm still shook. It's like I got kicked out of the dream. I felt my body going down, and then going up again, and then going down and going up again. Like almost like having sleep paralysis before that or something else. It was like a disruption to something. And I was hearing people saying, if you ask the time and the date, they will know that you're not from that realm. But till today, I'm convinced that when we're dreaming, we're somewhere else. So go ahead. Like, I mean, she got like kicked out. Like, there was another one that said like everything went black and then they just saw like eyes staring at them and said like, you don't do that here. We don't ask those questions here. I'll find that one too, but yeah. So what do you guys think of all this? This is just wild. There's like other of these stories. I mean, I was outside in my dream where people were playing a game. There was music and lots of talking in the background. I had a feeling I was dreaming, and I noticed the person next to me had 8 fingers on one hand, and I said really loud, "Oh, I'm dreaming. You have 8 fingers on your hand." And another person nearby turned around and asked, "What?" And I said, "You're all in my dream. You have too many fingers too." Just then the music stopped. Everyone stopped talking, and it was dead quiet, and all of the heads snapped back to look at me. I started to get scared and felt like something bad was going to happen, so I closed my eyes in the dream so I couldn't see anyone and shook myself awake. It was really disturbing. They all looked very angry. This just happened to me. I didn't know asking this question would be so crazy. I found this video after searching on Google. I was dreaming I was sitting in my English class in high school, so it means I was a sophomore in 2018. I looked at the time and it was blurry. I asked my classmate next to me, "What time is it?" because I wanted to leave the class, and the whole class turned around and looked at me, like opened their eyes widely. I looked back and my classmate's face was like right in front of my face, and I jumped back and fell off my seat, and everyone surrounded me saying, "You cannot ask that." And I was like, "Why the hell? Why?" And I got up and I ran, and I knew it was a dream. I was like, I need to wake up because I got so scared. And I stopped at a security guard, and he was like, "You shouldn't have asked that, little man." And I left my school. And I woke up. I mean, what the heck are this other comment? People are messing with things they don't understand. I'd like to thank everybody for checking out the podcast. My Patreon is patreon.com/ParadoxWalk. The music is Downbeat 88. The opening track is called The Dark. The ending track, the outro track, is called Moment of Peace. I'd like to thank my first Patreon, Roxy, and hope everybody's doing good out there. Have a good day. Bye.